Men are chilling at home and avoiding broke girls. Men are chilling at home and avoiding broke girls. Guys have caught on to the bull crap that's been going on for far too long and they're not taking it anymore. Watch the end of the video to fully understand why men are chilling at home and avoiding broke girls. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Why is it that the finest guys in the world, and also single, never leave the house? Is there a reason for that?
They're not leaving the house because they're done with the BS. Men realize that no matter where we go, we're going to end up in trouble. Okay? You see, women have it in their minds that they want men to approach them, but only the men that they like. So it's like the men that they like are supposed to know to approach them, but then men have woken up and realized that a woman can retroactively withdraw consent. A woman's like, don't you notice that I was looking at you? Don't you notice that I was giving you a signal? And here's the thing. A man can go ahead and approach her and suddenly he says something wrong. Henry Cavill can approach a woman because he saw a signal from her. And then as soon as he approaches her, she doesn't like what's coming out of his mouth because she realizes that, he's more into computers than playing with adult toys or whatever. And now she's like, yeah, I don't like him. I don't want him. It doesn't matter the fact that he looks like an Olympian Greek god. It doesn't matter the fact that he played Superman or whatever. The fact is that he does not stimulate the emotions that she wants because she's looking for a man who is for the streets. So now she's like, yeah, I retroactively withdraw consent for approaching me. And, guys, just because we smile at you doesn't actually mean that we want your attention or we want you to come over to us. This is how they operate, and this is how they think. This is the reason why it's extremely corrupt. And once men begin to understand the way that women think, it leads a lot of men to saying that we don't actually want to have anything to do with relationships or society. That's why a lot of men end up going MGTOW and saying they don't want to have anything to do with relationships. They want to avoid society. Either men go MWA and they basically start looking for their best options and alternatives, which is often a woman overseas, or they go MGTOW and they're like, yeah, we're done with society. We're done with relationships entirely. We're just going to chill at home and live our best lives.
I got put into the friend zone. Now, if you don't know what the friend zone is, that's a state where you like somebody. You like somebody that you thought that you would be with. I'm talking about heads over heels for this person. But you come to find out they don't like you the same way that you do. So in the midst of being in the friend zone, in the midst of you liking them, she hit you with we could be friends. Now, every guy, when a female says we can be friends, we sit there and think to ourselves and be like, maybe we can be friends. Maybe we could just sit here, be friends for about a month or two, and then you gonna start liking me once you start seeing who I really am. Once you start hanging around me more, you're gonna see that I'm more than just this guy that likes you. I'm the one for you. I wanted you to be introduced as my girl. Now you going around introducing me as, this my friend, this my brother. Now I gotta walking around calling you sis. Oh, this my sister.
You guys, it's so sad. We've all been there. And then we have to learn. Guys, we all go through it. But it's good because it means that we are having that same collective experience as men. All right. And that's the reason. And guys, you have to understand, in Western society, there is no one and nothing more hated than men, specifically the heterosexual man. There's nothing more hated than the heterosexual man. We are hated more than cockroaches. But it's good that we are collectively aware of this. And the men that are in denial of it, or the men who don't care, are the simps. And you have to understand that they hate themselves and they hate us too. All right, these are the most hateful men on the planet. They have no humanity beyond the fact that they want full bellies and empty balls, and that's it. They will sell any other man out. They will scorch the earth. They will allow the world to end if it meant that they would basically be able to smell a queef. These guys are horrible human beings. You have to understand that. So there's no need to look for, even try to negotiate or argue with these guys. Who the hell are these guys? Who the hell are these guys? The fact of the matter remains is that men have to wake up and realize that she never loved you. Most women never love the man that they're with. A woman can say that she loves the man that she's with, and then she goes and hooks up with another guy while he's away. How many of these women who are like, oh, I love my husband. I love my husband. He's in the military. And then the moment he's gone, she's going to go and hook up with some other dude. That's how they operate. And they have no gripes about it. And they can basically condition themselves to believe whatever they want to believe. Oh, it wasn't really cheating. I never really cheated on him. Oh, it never actually happened. Guys, women will never hold themselves accountable unless they are held accountable. And even then, they will continue to lie about it. Look at this woman who Control Alt deleted Selena. Selena was a famous singer. She was Control Alt deleted back in the 90s. The woman who Control Alt deleted her, fast forward 30 years later, is still blaming everyone else but herself, taking no accountability. And if I recall, it sounds like she even blames Selena for what happened. And they had the nerve to put her on television 30 years later, give her a platform where she continued to blame someone else for what happened, saying that it wasn't her fault that it happens. She doesn't deny that she did it, but the reasons for why it happened essentially are, there's a bunch of reasons why it happened, and it really absolves her of doing it. Guys, it is psychotic. It is psychotic how these people operate, how these people think. This is why men are avoiding relationships and dating. And guess what? Women are out there struggling in the streets with inflation right now. Inflation is at an all-time high. It's only going to go higher. While the average man can live comfortably in a shoebox at the side of the road, the average woman cannot.
Please tell me how we are surviving in this economy, because I am unsure. I went to the grocery store today and I'm just going to read you some of the items. I didn't go in for a lot. I didn't have a huge list. I needed rolls and some lunch meat for my husband. I got some yogurt, some milk, bread, 2 loaves. I got some cheese, some breakfast bars, and raspberries. Do you want to know what my bill was? $108.31. $108 for not that many things. Listen, I do not live, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I work per diem. I work at the hospital a couple days a week, and I make a decent hourly wage when I do work. And my husband does not work a minimum wage job whatsoever. He works for a law firm. He's director of marketing. But I don't understand how people who are living on minimum wage, what are you doing? $108. This was not even my grocery trip for the week.
You know what? Something interesting, and I've talked about the economics of homelessness and poverty. A lot of these people who are basically very low wage, they're living better lives, much better lives than everyone else. For example, they get public assistance. So right off the bat, they get public assistance and public housing. So because they're getting public housing, their housing costs, what they would be spending for housing, let's say $3,000 a month, right? Let's call it, it's a lot more than that in 2024. But let's say $3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a year that they are now saving. All right, because they live in public housing. A lot of the time, if they live in public housing, their rent is only going to end up being something like $500 a month. Okay, so think about that carefully. If they would usually be spending $36,000 in rent per year, and their rent is only $500 a month, that means they're only going to be spending $6,000 a year in rent. All right, so they're saving $30,000, $30,000 right there. Then on top of it, they're also collecting things like food stamps. Oh my gosh! So now they have kids. How many kids do they have? They have 4 kids. All right, $291 per kid. All right, per individual plus themselves. That they have 4 kids. So now you guys are seeing that's $1,500. That's almost $1,500 a month in food stamps. All right, that's $18,000 a year. 18,000. So think about this very carefully. They're saving 30. They're getting their rent paid. So that's $30,000 a year in paid rent for them. All right. They're collecting $18,000 a year in food stamps. So now we did that math, and that works out to about $48,000 right there. Okay. They're also collecting Medicaid for them and their children. So when you factor that in, it costs the average person, around a little over $400 to insure a person that doesn't have health care, doesn't have health insurance. So I mean, you do the math. You do the math right there. That's 4,800, and it's actually a little bit more than that. So we can round that off to about $5,000. All right, $5,000. $5,000 a year, and then that's per individual. So if they have 4 kids, and they're also in there, that's 25,000. That's 20. What the living hell? $25,000 a year in health insurance. Sometimes you get shocked by it. $25,000 a year in health insurance benefits. So we did the math right there, in terms of the public house, in terms of housing. So we said $30,000 for housing per year, right? We said $18,000 in food stamps per year, right? Just like, we said how much was it? $25,000 per year in health insurance benefits. That works out to $73,000. And that we're not even counting, for example, the portion of their income that they get to keep. So for example, let's say they get to keep around $10,000, right, of disposable income per year, right? That brings them up. Check this out. That brings them up now to $83,000. And these people get things like, they get assistance when it comes to electricity, internet, all of that other stuff. All right, they get help with clothing. So a lot of these low income people, they work less than the average person that has a bachelor's degree or has real education, but they get more benefits that offsets this. So basically, our tax money goes to subsidize people who did not ever have to work as hard as the rest of us. And then these same people turn around and say that they're poor and, they want more. A lot of these people are going to end up homeless. They're going to end up in the streets. They're going to end up suffering. It's going to be very, very bad. All right? Because nothing lasts forever. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my new guide, the Digital Nomad Blueprint. Click the link in the description to get your free copy. Also, guys, subscribe to the Angry Guy Clips channel, where we post shorter videos and video responses, and also the Angry Guy Live channel, where we live stream. Both channels are linked in the description. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Men are chilling at home and avoiding broke girls. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.